which might explain the latest opinion polling which has been popping around right now. Now, we've been following the trends here, be it News Poll, be it the Turnbull Times poll, be it the one popping up even in the Morgan poll. Well, have a look at this. According to the Financial Review poll, which is put together by Freshwater, let's start at the bottom left-hand corner. Two-party preferred, 50-50. Now, yes, the Teals and their popularity will be the big test about whether the opposition can get close to forming a minority government, but most likely it is the Labor Party forming a minority government with, among others, people like the Greens. Well, the Labor Party's primary vote's now at 31%. The Liberal National Party, generally speaking, can win an election if they've got a primary at 40. You would have to assume one or two of the Teals may disappear, but the Teals again become the buffer, which is why the Prime Minister can carry on with the arrogance that he currently does. But he doesn't have a backbench of 90 MPs. He's only got 78 seats in the Parliament. They lose 3, they're in minority government. The Greens are going backwards and everything else remains stable. You can see here that Peter Dutton's numbers, they rise, Albo's fall. And in terms of favourable and unfavourable, the Prime Minister has a higher unfavourable rating than Peter Dutton, which is why, of course, blame Dutton, blame Dutton, blame Dutton is the main focus of those who hate him. Also on the issues, now I won't get you to try to read all of this, but you'll be able to see on these issues about where the parties are more favoured by voters, and the majority of them are not with the government. In fact, the issues where people back the government are welfare and payments. Geez, what a surprise after they increased welfare to now 36% of the federal budget, more than anything else. Family, education, training, community, social care and health. Meantime, the opposition, managing the economy, defence and national security, immigration and asylum seekers, crime and social order. That issue has been ticking up and no doubt will go through the roof the next time we have a look at one of these polls. Also, they're leading on cost of living, on tax, on government spending, on housing, on accommodation and on roads and transport. Oh yeah, and remember how the Prime Minister said the great solution to the Australian democratic experiment should be more time in government for him?
I think that our terms are too short with just 3 years. Our view, long-term policy, and we've put it to the Australian people, is for 4-year terms.
Well, guess what? He can't even crack a majority on that. The man who, of course, loves being able to turn 60-40 into 40-60, well, he'd be pretty much in the same place because we'd have to have a referendum for it. Right now, 38% of people say no. Sorry, 38% say yes, 44% say no. Unsure, 18. You have a referendum, let's split that in half. Clearly, no ends up winning. So his continuous record of always being on the wrong side of where people are, well, it continues even when he's talking about staying in power for even longer.